Be like, ooh, yeah, ooh, my life be like, ooh, yeah, ooh.
Here we are with our Draft Daily, where today we'll discuss our predictions for next week in the NFL. The first one we're going to start out with is the Cardinals and the Rams. This one should be pretty good. I'm thinking it's going to be one of the top games of the week, but personally, I think the Rams got this one. I think they're really cruising. I'm not sold on Stanton. I mean, he's still 10-3. I think they got it, but you never know. So our pick's going to be the Rams. Next, we have Green Bay at Buffalo. This game, I hate to say it to you Bills fans, is not going to be the greatest game out there. And the reason why I say this is Aaron Rodgers already it's my opinion, locked up the MVP. No one's going to stop him. And the Bills defense, come on. They hit, but they'll grab it against Peyton Manning. Everyone said, oh, Bills they're going to get Peyton Manning. They didn't get him. So I don't see them getting to Aaron Rodgers. So our pick is Green Bay. Next, we have Bengals at the Browns. Kind of a rematch of a Thursday night game earlier in the season. The thing I like to say is Johnny Manziel is getting his first start in this game. They do have a very small chance of making the playoffs, but never say never. And I think Johnny Manziel needs to understand he doesn't need to be Johnny Manziel like that athlete. He needs to be what the Browns need him to be. He needs to go out there, he needs to play his game, not make the bad decisions, and let Andy Dalton make the bad decisions, which we know Andy Dalton's had. So our pick's going to be the Browns. Next, the Colts and the Houston Texans. This one should be another good one, I think. J.J. Watt, with all the publicity he's got, I don't know why they're putting him in the tight end now, but, it's working. So, I don't think J.J. Watt is alone. I don't think he can beat Andrew Luck alone. I think you need 11 guys on that defense to beat Andrew Luck. And I personally don't think they have what it takes to do that. So our pick's going to be the Colts. Next, we have the Dolphins and the Patriots. This one I think is going to be a good one, but the Dolphins, they bit me last week, and for that, we're going to go with the Patriots. Next are the Steelers and the Falcons. Now, a lot of people would say, Falcons are struggling, but if you think about it, Green Bay, they only lost by 6 points at home. Think about all the good teams that went to Green Bay and got destroyed. I mean, the Eagles lost by a lot there. I was at that game. They lost by a lot. And the Eagles are not a bad team, as you know, at 9-4. Our pick's going to be the Steelers anyway. And I think Big Ben, I think he's going to get the ball moving. Bell, I think he's having that all-star year you want. The next, we have the Jets and the Titans. This one, to me, is kind of like a scrub game. I don't see much producing out of this game. I mean, Geno Smith looked pretty good against the Vikings, but the Vikings defense, as you know, is not all there. But we're going to go with the Titans, and the reason why we decided him is Manberg looks good. He played the Eagles. I like going to the Eagles because they're my team, but when they played the Eagles, he looked pretty good. The Eagles didn't run him over. I mean, they beat him by a pretty good margin, but it could have been a lot worse if Manberg didn't play the way he did. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers and Seahawks. This one, I'm not thinking it's going to be a game. I mean, it's something I don't really like to talk about. I know I went off in my last video on Michael Barrett. I apologize for going off about that. I shouldn't have made a comment like that, but I do think that Seattle's going to get done. Next, we have Baltimore and the Jaguars. Jaguars did beat Eli Manning, and they were down 21 points and they won. But I really do not think they have what it takes to beat Baltimore. I mean, they just beat the Dolphins, in my opinion, one of the best AFC teams. And I think they're going to keep going. Next are the Buccaneers and the Panthers. And the thing I really want to talk about here is, it's a shame what happened to Cam Newton with the car accident. I think that's just piled on, and I think things are piling on Panthers. not having a great season. The quarterback is in a car accident. I don't think he's gonna. I think they announced he's not gonna be playing this week, which would be smart. Anderson's not a bad quarterback. I still think they will get it done. He beat the Buccaneers in Week 1. I think he'll do it again. The Chiefs and Raiders. Now, a few weeks back when the Raiders got the first win, it was against the Chiefs. The Raiders were at home, and they beat the 49ers last week. So it's hard for me to pick the Raiders just because only having a 2-win season. But I mean, I think Kansas City and Alex Smith are still a good team. I was disappointed they didn't beat the Cardinals last week, and they kind of got me on that one. But we're going to go with Kansas City. Next are the Giants and Redskins. I mean, this one is just an NFC East. Like, they're both struggling. They're both teams that shouldn't be struggling. They're both stubborn teams. They're gonna play this. This is gonna be a tough game. RG3, this Taunton coming back. I think RG3 is the best quarterback on that team by a lot. I don't think anyone could fix that team. It's not the coach. It's not the quarterback. It's not the running back. It's not the wide receiver. It's the team as a whole. So I personally do not think that they're gonna get done. So we're gonna pick the Giants. Next, we have the Broncos and the Chargers. Our pick is going to be the Chargers. I thought I'd just go ahead and show you that. The reason why is I know they lost to Denver when they were in Denver. Conditions are not great there, you know, unless you're a Denver player. But they played really well against New England on Sunday Night Football. And apparently, the New England is the #1 team in the NFL. So if they can force Tom Brady to have to make a lot of good plays in order to get that win, I think Peyton Manning, they hit Peyton Manning, I don't think there's any chance. The Lions and the Vikings. This one, I think the Lions, they're fighting. They're a lion. They're fighting. They're doing what they can to stay in the playoffs. Great season, but you don't know if Matt Stafford's going to show up. You don't know if the guy's going to throw for 300 yards or the guy who's going to throw 204 picks. It's one of those things, but we're going to go with the Lions. The next game, the game of the week, NFC East Showdown. This one will be another good one. I know when they last met up on Thanksgiving, it wasn't the greatest game. The Eagles ended up blowing them out at home. But I think with Nick Foles having a chance coming back, I do not think he's going to start if he's healthy. I know he's healthy to play, but I don't think they're going to go and do that. Shady's got a redemption after last week. The defense, if they play like they did last week, I think they easily got this. Our pick is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, of course. I really think they're going to get this one done, and they're going to take it to the Redskins and the Giants to end the season. The last game of the week, we have the Bears and the Saints. This game, if you think about it, the funny thing is, a 4 or 5 win team is possibly going to win their division. That South is just so bad. I mean, no offense to people who like that division. It's not what they used to be, if that makes any sense. But our pick is going to be the Bears. And that will do it here at Draft Daily. You have a good one.